Dating as a Christian, celibate, and single mom of two. Let's get into it. Let's go. Let's share a little bit of tea, a little bit of story time. So, for the longest of my life, I've always chased guys, and what I mean by chase is, if I think they're cute or something, I'm gonna ask for their number. And then after my divorce, we'll get into that later, it's another story, I started to really just go for what I wanted. Like, I would be really flirtatious, and I would kind of lead with sexual comments, different things, like just trying to make myself, attractive, like leave you on the leash a little bit, like, hey. But I don't know. Growing up, I never had guys really come up to me and just be like, "You're so beautiful," or "I just really want to date you." I couldn't date till I was 17 and a half. And in the time between that time and 18, I had one guy ask me out. Oh, I know. Me? Okay. And I have a great personality, I think. I love Jesus. I think it was just he wanted to keep me out of trouble. I don't know. So growing up, I'm like, so what's wrong with me? Why don't I get asked out? Like, why don't guys like me? And then I got married at 18 to the first guy that I fell in love with. We'll talk about that later. And I just started internalizing a lot of that. And I started doing things like wearing the pants or paying for the dinners. And I became that girl, just accepting any and everything with dating, or thinking I had to put out or different things for guys to like me. And I didn't know my value, and God is teaching me. Fast forward life, single mom of two, celibate, abstinent until marriage. Like, what? That's hard, right? So I had a conversation with God recently, and I was like, God, we're working on my value. You told me to be single for a certain amount of time, and I've reached halfway of that mark. I'm doing great. And I was like, but God, I'm starting to see my value. I'm starting to I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to look cute. Like, I see myself. Like, do you see this beauty? You want me to keep this all to myself? Are you sure I can't have a husband? Are you sure it's not time? Like, how can I keep all this goodness that you're pouring into me to myself? Like, I want to pour it out onto somebody else, God. But he told me, your beauty is not for man, and your beauty is not for people. Your beauty is for me and my purpose. What purpose is that? Well, think about it like this. You're so beautiful, and how much rarer is it to be living for God? Look at how you look at. You know how rare it is to see a beautiful woman who can keep herself for Jesus? What? That don't happen. So that's why. Use your beauty for that purpose. Inspire somebody else to save and keep themselves for God. Fast forward, I went on a date recently. This is so random, I know. And it was so great. It was so perfect. Everything my flesh wanted. And I could have just stayed right there. I would have been so happy, baby. Like, all right, yeah. But then my spirit started talking to me during the date. Like, okay, after the date. It was like, Tamika, this is great, right? We're having fun. Like, this was everything you wanted. You had everything on your list, right? This is what you've been wanting for so long. Like, this gotta be it. But my spirit said, okay, but what about this other side over here? Your flesh is attracted to these things. This is what you need to keep that marriage spicy and all that good stuff. We'll get into that. But hey, what is your spirit attracted to about this person? I said, cricket. So we're back to the we're back to the drawing board. Because God told me to stay single in this moment anyways, and I wasn't supposed to be going on no dates, and I knew better, and I didn't do better. I tried to see for myself, as my girl on YouTube says, I don't know her name. Look her up, she's great. So that's what you get when you go outside God's will, and you think you big and bad, and you think you want to try things out, and you just be in a corner looking stupid. So don't do it. But this is how my journey is going, and I'm doing good, and I'm not fighting God on this forefront no more. Like, being single for God it's been an experience. And saving all my time for just my kids, my two little girls that I gotta protect. Saving my time for them and God, my business, my schooling, the things, my dreams, my vision. I got married at 18. Like, I didn't have any time to do anything else but be a wife. I went from living in my parents' house straight to being married. Then after my marriage of 5 years, I went straight into a relationship and lived with that person for 3 years. I've never lived alone. I've never gotten to be out from under my rock. But God's protection is worth more than life's experiences. So these are just some of the lessons that I've learned. I've only been 6 months single, just 6 months. Working on that year mark. And, it's not a race anymore. At first, it was like my flesh was screaming. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? We can go get a man. Jump from relationship to relationship. Like, I ain't gotta do this. I ain't gotta take this. My flesh said, I ain't gotta take this. We can have a man today. What are we doing? But my flesh not screaming no more, y'all. And I went on that date, and for the first time in my life, I didn't give no hug. I didn't give no kiss. I dapped that. I want to say the N word. I dapped that dude so quick, and a high five or a handshake. That's all he got. And maybe that was Jesus, because Lord knows, Tamika loves a fairy tale where you end the date with a kiss. Like, okay. All right. Y'all had enough for today. Candid talk with Tamika. All right. I hope you learned something. I hope you learned what not to do.